Wide receiver Curtis Samuel proved to everybody that he was healthy and ready for action this year. He stops by to talk about what was different this year and what comes next. And on the defensive side of the ball, Kam Curl showed he can be a valuable piece in the Commanders' defensive backfield. He stops by the Players Club to talk with Fletcher and Santana Moss about what he is focused on this offseason. And we are sending a couple of special teamers to the Pro Bowl out in Las Vegas next month. We'll talk about what that means for punter Tress Way and Jeremy Reaves. Hello and welcome into Command Center. I'm Julie Donaldson. Things have been super quiet around the practice facility here in Ashburn as the players are all gone, the coaches are all gone, but they'll be back before we know when OTAs pick up again. Now, until then, well, we have memories of the season that was to keep us company. So let's now go inside the matchup presented by FanDuel and make every moment more. Now, one of those memories came in the first game of the season when Washington played its first regular season game as the Commanders. It was a close matchup with the Jags. The Commanders won 28-22. And 6 of those points came via touchdown reception from Curtis Samuel. Pretty cool moment to be a part of and something Curtis discussed when he joined Fletcher and Santana Moss in the Players Club after locker cleanout. Here it is.
Thanks for joining us again, man, before you're way out the door.
Sure.
I know everybody's goal, to get to the postseason and get to the big dance. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance. How you feel as a receiver? How you feel that you guys in your room responded this year with all the different musical chairs with the quarterbacks and everything like that?
I feel like we did a great job. We didn't really. One thing I like that we didn't really focus on paying attention too much of, who's that quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Focus on that. Our job as a receiver is just to get open. No matter who's out there, we got to make the job easy on the quarterbacks. Try to win our one-on-one matchups and give our quarterback the best chance possible to complete a ball.
For you, 64 receptions, second on the team in receptions. Was that after last year and not being healthy? You go through the season, play the full season. How did it feel to be able to show DC and show this area what you were capable of doing?
Oh, that was very important for me. I feel like that was one of the things last year why I wanted to play so bad. It's just one of those things like they brought me here to, play and to be out there and, make plays, you know what I'm saying, and I couldn't be out there, so that was kind of frustrating. So this year, I attacked the offseason hard. I pushed myself to limits that I didn't even know I could do certain things, honestly. I don't want no surprises during the season.
Gotcha.
I want to know that I can cut, I can plant, I can stop on a dime after running full speed and be able to do it the next day. So, being out there, being able to be out there this year and make an impact, that's exciting for me.
Speaking of how you attacked the offseason last year, what are your offseason plans? Are you one of the guys that take a little time, get away from the game a little bit, or are you one of those guys that say, hey man, after a week or so I got to get back out there in the gym?
Oh no, I definitely take some time. I know me, more importantly, I know as I say this all the time, as long as I'm available, I know I'm gonna make something happen. My main goal each and every offseason is to be healthy. Get my body that time to rest and then start training.
Gotcha. You mentioned on the first time you came on Players Club in college, you and Terry went fishing. This offseason, any plans to go?
We ain't going fishing.
Yeah,
we not going.
Listen,
fishing.
hear me out. The reason I asked that is because I've only been fishing like once or twice, and we caught one fish. We're gonna bring the Players Club, Tanner and I, me, you, and Terry. We gonna go fishing.
I ain't getting on the boat. I ain't getting on the boat going fishing. Nah, I don't like
fish
water.
on the dock, man.
So, we can do that. We can do that. Let me be on the dock. Hey, y'all be out there. Just give me the right.
You don't want to go on the boat at all?
Nah, not at all.
You can swim though, right?
Who?
You can swim?
I can swim a little bit.
I say the same thing. Like you can swim, but can you in the ocean? That's different, man.
See, the thing is, I don't even like the beach.
Yeah,
I'm be honest with you. I don't like the beach.
You like the pool?
Yeah, I'm a pool guy. You know what I'm saying? I stick my feet in. And
no, you ain't wrong. I lived on the water at one time, and I used to go out there with my jet skis, and I used to be like, bro, you know what? this is all just for the looks, because it ain't nothing. I don't like this open seat, man.
Nobody like that. Nobody like
It's some stuff down there that I don't want to see. So
come on now.
I ain't mad at you, bro. I ain't mad at you at all.
When you think about this season, the ebbs and flow of it, this is the last question for me. What are you going to remember most about this year?
That's tough. Honestly, first game of the season. I feel like that was just one of those statement games for me. Mentally, for me and for other people, I was able to go out there, score the first touchdown, Commanders history. After dealing with what I dealt with last year, able to catch the ball in space, make guys miss, show the crowd, get them hype. I remember how crazy the crowd was going when I was out there doing all those moves, and I just felt the energy and the excitement, that the fans had for that first game of the season, and I really felt like I was back. So that's a moment that I will never forget.
And speaking of that moment, and like I said, we finna let you get up out of here. That's something that we want to see more of. I mean, I understand that this group, the receiver core, had a productive season, but when the talent like you guys have, even though you had 64 catches, that's cool. But I feel like we left a lot out there with you.
Absolutely.
Not talking about everybody in general, with you. It was more than what we can. I'm okay with that gadget stuff. I'm cool with that. I know you can do it because you play the running back position. But I think as a receiver, you're a mismatch waiting to happen. And I feel like it's a lot more we have in store with you. So I'm just saying this on your way out. I'm hoping and I'm looking forward to us expanding your role.
Absolutely.
Seeing you with more yards and more touchdowns and more touches, because I feel like we left a lot out there. And, we can be that much more potent as a receiver core and as an offense if we really allow you guys to flourish.
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that one. How I attack that mentally is just saying I gotta attack this offseason hard. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be in the best shape. I gotta become the best receiver I could possibly be, because as soon as OTAs hit and I go out there and show them and do those things consistently, not saying I haven't, but just keep on doing it over and over again, will build the trust within the coaches, to say, hey, let's get this guy the ball. So that's how on my part, that's how I affect that. I can't control the play calling or whoever get the ball, but all I can do is just go out there, keep improving, and show the coaches that I'm here and that I want the ball, and that I'm gonna make something happen when I touch the ball.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Curtis was part of a productive Commanders wide receiving core this season. So let's check out what the group did. Terry McLaurin led all receivers with nearly 1,200 yards, marking his third consecutive 1,000-yard season. Samuel put up over 600 yards and 4 touchdowns. Meanwhile, rookie Jahan Dotson led the team with 7 TDs. Now keep it here, because when we come back, we're switching our focus over to the defensive side of the ball and talking with the staple of our defensive backfield, Kam Curl. You don't want to miss that. It's next. Welcome back. Now, while nagging injuries kept Kam Curl out of the action down the stretch of the season, it was very clear early on that he was going to have a big impact and be a force to be reckoned with in the defensive backfield. Now, he had 83 tackles in just 12 games that he played and is becoming a leader on defense for head coach Ron Rivera. They're expecting him to have a big impact on the team next season. But before he took off for the offseason, well, he sat down in the Players Club with London Fletcher and Santana Moss. Check it out.
So, Kam, first off, we want to know, how's your body feeling? How's your ankle?
I feel like it's progressing real good. It's feeling good right now. It just wasn't ready to perform at a high level for real. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't go out there and do what I needed to do. But it's getting good. I feel like it's going in the right direction.
I know. Earlier this year, it was like one of those signs when you didn't get a chance to play. We didn't know, and then when you got in there and played, we saw how much you meant to the defense. What was it like just seeing how it seemed like things shift again when we didn't have you them last few games? Was it something that you felt or saw also, or it was just like, you wish you could have been out there, you weren't thinking about that?
I mean, I wish I could have been out there. But, watching the game, you see, anytime you're on the sideline, you see stuff like, I could have made that, I could have did that. You just trying to help your team You know, no matter like who out there, just trying to help your team get better. You know, you can make the team better by being on the field. So anytime off the field, like it's just I don't like it because I don't like never come off. Like if I'm playing every snap. So not being even able to play one snap, like it feel weird. I'm not used to that.
Gotcha.
You were like a Swiss Army knife for this team, man. You playing Buffalo nickel, you playing strong safety, playing Mike Backer at times. During the week, from a preparation standpoint, on and off the field in the classroom, what's your week like studying?
Just locking in, like just probably we come out Monday, watch the film for one game, and then I'm on to the next team. Like Monday, Tuesday, just trying to get the jump on them, like before the meetings on Wednesday, just so like I'm not hearing that stuff for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And then we get the game plan, just figuring out where they want me, certain packages we in, and then just watching film all week on that. You know what I'm saying? Because playing like more than one position, like you really got to lock in for real.
But like during plays and different personnel groupings, I know you might have a different responsibility if you're playing strong safety. But if you're playing a nickel, do you have to kind of constantly remind yourself, okay, what position am I playing?
Yeah, in fact, like it's been time in practice where like I'm standing at safety, Defoe standing right behind me, like what you doing? Like you supposed to be a nickel now. My fault. But like that's just like when it comes to that, you just gotta know what everybody doing. Like, and one thing Lando taught me when he was here, like make sure you know what everybody doing on the defense, and that's gonna make your job easier. So just doing that, and then when they ask me to play all these different positions, like I already know what they got to do, so that's what make it easier.
Well, I know we don't want to take up all your time. I want to ask you this one thing before we let you go. Do you have any plans for the off season? Are you one of those guys that you like to relax after it's all over, or do you get right back into the weight room and get out there and start, get ready for the next season?
I'm going to chill for a little bit. Right, I got to get healthy first. I'm going to make sure that's like the main thing, just making sure my whole body healthy. Just chill, get my mind off for a little bit, and then I'll be back at it like late February, March, just trying to get ready for OTAs, just trying to, working on footwork stuff, running again, and lifting weights.
Gotcha.
Right,
Well, appreciate your time, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Let's take a look at the keys to winning presented by the Maryland Lottery. Play fast, win fast with new Fast Play games from the Maryland Lottery. And here's a look at the top 3 leaders in tackles this season for the Commanders D. Jamin Davis came up big in his sophomore season, leading the team with over 100 tackles on the season. Safety Derek Forrest had himself a breakout year with 88 tackles and a team-leading 4 interceptions. Now, we're not done yet. When we come back, we are talking with a pair of Pro Bowl players, punter Tress Way and Jeremy Reaves. They will definitely be an entertaining pair out in Vegas, and we'll hear from them next.
Congratulations. You're the Pro Bowl special teams guy. You're the starter. You earned it, young man. Everything you've done, and I know your mom would be proud. You earned it, young man.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yo, he wouldn't stop.
Congrats, dude. Proud. Love you, dude. Thank you, man.
Pretty cool moment when Coach Rivera got to tell Jeremy Reaves he was going to the Pro Bowl. Reaves joins punter Tress Way, Jonathan Allen, and Terry McLaurin as representatives for the Commanders out at the games in Las Vegas. Jeremy and Tress both had a chance to stop by the Players Club before taking their talents to the desert. Check it out.
Tress, so appreciate you coming back on the Players Club with us.
Good to be back.
Season 2022 season is over. What will you remember most about this year?
Yeah, I think now selfishly I'm going to talk about the punt team. As you know, that's typically what I focus on a lot.
Yeah.
I think that Chicago game where we had been having a pretty good year as a punt team, but then that Chicago game when we had that turnover, whenever the returner muffed the punt, we get the ball inside the 10, we go on to win the game. another muff punt. Then the last game of the year, another muff punt. And then the birth of the GSNLS.
Right.
It's that bond that I had. That's right. The bond, just the bond I had with the guys. I just had so much fun, and that's part of the satisfaction, and then also part of just the frustration, and it feels a little incomplete because it feels like we should be getting ready for another game. It feels like we left something on the table, and so that is definitely that bond that I had with our punt team this year. That was really fun to be a part of.
Speaking of those muff punts, I love when I see our team take advantage of those opportunities, and I smile sometimes just knowing that they got to give Tress a little more credit because you're doing something with that ball. It's a spin on that ball, and I love how they slowed it down this past week when they showed it and how it was coming down. I'm like, see, that's the spin I'm telling you. He kicked it. Yep. Is that something that you emphasize in certain situations on the field, or you doing that more often than we know?
Yeah, so all three of the muff punts, they all took place inside the 20. So I don't want to hit a touchback. And then you had a really dangerous returner back there, Turpin, who's going to the Pro Bowl. But in general, when I call it in between clubs. So you're not quite going to hit your pooch punt, the end over end, Australian style, but you also just can't launch a bomb. So I kind of tilt the nose up a little bit, and I try and send that thing way up into the air so it has controlled distance while still gaining some ground. And so when that thing goes all the way up and starts to turn down, a lot of guys like Dax, Alex Erickson, a lot of the fellas have told me that at some point it actually comes down almost backwards.
Yeah.
And so I'd like to think I throw a little voodoo on there, but I appreciate it.
I was going to ask you, do you have different names for your punts? Like, you might want to call that one the voodoo.
I do. I will. I'll call that one the voodoo.
Yes.
Because I don't have a nickname for that punt. So I'm gonna call it. Thank you. I'm gonna call that the voodoo ball now. So when I'm in between clubs, it's time to bust out the voodoo. Then I have what is called a screamer. So if I see the returner playing me one way, I try and hit this low line drive like 50, 60 yards.
Like a stinger, like a Tiger Woods stinger.
Like a stinger.
Yeah.
So I used to call it the stinger, but Coach Nate called it the screamer. I'll go with screamer. That's all right.
So you got the screamer, you got the voodoo.
Yep.
Ah, man, we appreciate this, man.
What's up, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on the show and joining us again.
Heck yeah, man. It's good chatting with y'all.
Have a good one.
All right, man. Jeremy, we thank you for joining us again on the Players Club.
Absolutely.
Special teams, y'all guys went out with a bang again, making a lot of plays against the Dallas Cowboys. How'd you feel about the way you guys played?
It's a standard, man. Gang stuff, no lame
Hey,
stuff.
look. No, just
Hey, that's the standard though, man. Guys understand it. That the tone was set, like I said on the first show after that Detroit game. That this ain't we got to put a better product on the field, and we can change games. And these young guys have stepped up, man, to the challenge. And so I'm super proud of them. Super happy for them, man.
Speaking of young guys, seeing Holmes go out there and be right there at the right place at the right time, how big is that for him, man? I think he's been flashing all year long, and for him to end his season, having a big play like that, that changed a lot of things in the game. How big you think that was for him?
Confidence builder, man. When you can do something like that to affect the game, not for the first time, but for the second time. And on a stage like that, end of the season, that's something that you can carry into the next year. That confidence booster of like, yeah, man, I'm that dude. And then guys from the opposite team, vet, like, Goodwin's over there, he vet, dude, established, telling them like, hey, man, you a dude. Like, I respect that. Like, that's something that he can carry into the next year and then every year.
Speaking of Pro Bowl, you'll be playing in that in a couple weeks. You kind of got your list together of who's going to come out there and be with you at the Pro Bowl?
I ain't going to lie to you. It really ain't hit me. I still ain't even filled out all the information and stuff.
You're so locked in with
man. But, when that time comes, I'll figure I'll probably just be my dad, in all honesty. Because I don't know how the dynamics of none of this stuff work. Like, it's a first for me, so I don't know what's going on out there. But I'm just going, right now, the folks just go home and, enjoy my family and go, talk to these kids and tell them, like, man, I walked it, I did it, like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, just show them, like, it's possible, man.
No, that's a good take at it. I mean, I'm sure by the time it's time you fill those forms out, it'll be a 2 or 3 people you add to. You got to bring a friend or 2 with you too.
Well, the guys, the DVs, Cam and Corn and Bobby and all of them were talking about coming out there.
Yeah, let's go. You got to have somebody.
And it's Vegas too. So
I ain't never been to Vegas. Never been to Vegas.
Man, you have a time.
well, we had a time last night.
Never been out there. Yeah, I heard.
Should be fun.
I heard. I'm excited. I'm super excited.
You looking forward to the flag football game, or just kind of just being in the Pro Bowl and having that experience in general?
Just the experience, honestly. I mean, like, y'all know my story. Like, most guys don't get that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even guys that don't have my story that get drafted, they still don't get that.
They don't get that.
So just the whole experience of that, man, and being one of the, the best guys in the league this year, man. I'm just gonna soak all that in and use that for next year.
That's gonna be motivation in itself, man, to see those guys.
Right.
And it's gonna already make a person like you, who's humble, who's hungry, to just go out there and want to get at it again. I mean, honestly, that's what I saw when I was out there, and I remember making pacts with myself, just mentally saying, okay, I want to do this, and I want to see it again. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out that way. I was an alternate, I think 3 or 4 times after that, but it happens. You know what I mean? But just being around those guys, I still had a chance to embrace the moment.
Right.
So that's what you're going to probably do. And it's a little different from our time. We played in the game and, probably going to have more activities for you guys to do that we didn't have to do. But you're definitely, you're going to enjoy the experience.
One of the coolest things they did, and I'm sure they probably still do it, we used to visit one of the military bases, and I'm sure they have bases out in Vegas, so that's a cool experience. Just being able to do that.
I think we do go visit.
Oh, really? Yeah. That's a pretty cool experience, man.
I'm super. Yeah, I gotta go. I'll be going to our base back home when I get home.
That's dope.
So yeah,
man. Well, we appreciate you joining us again on the Players Club.
Always, man. Always, OG. I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for everything this year.
All right.
Thanks for joining us on this special edition in the off season. Enjoy the games, everybody, and we'll see you next time.